Warm greetings to all of you, and on behalf of Manthan and behalf of AICT and behalf of the training team, I welcome you all for this session. We are going to look into the problem statement, abstraction based text summarization. Okay, and the problem statement number is INTL NLP 11. NLP 11. This is the problem statement number, and the problem statement we are going to look into is abstraction based text summarization. Abstraction based text summarization, and I'm I'm happy that you are all watching these videos and you have one more day left and you will be working on these projects. Yes, I wish very all the best from my side. Yes, without any further ado, let's move on to this problem statement. Let's move on. Let's discuss about what you can expect from after this session, right? After this session, you can expect, like, you can understand what is summarization. You will be understanding what is summarization, different types of summarization, and you will be understanding what are all the few mathematics that's involved behind this text summarization. And we will look into a demo code also, how text summarization works, fine. So again, I welcome you all, and without any further ado, let me start off with this session. Okay. So as I said, we'll be looking into some of the introduction. And then what is text summarization? We need to understand what is text summarization and the max behind it. And there are several flows, and there are several steps to be followed in order to work on with text summarization. So first of all, and as well as we'll be completing it with a demo class. Like, we will be completing it with a demo session. Fine. Next. So what is text summarization? Text summarization is nothing but automatic text summarization is a task of producing concise and fluent summary while the key information of content and overall meaning. So what they are trying to tell is that summarization is nothing but the actual English meaning of summarizing. So what do we mean by summarizing? There will be a whole big paragraph and we will be summarizing it. We'll be shortening it. Okay. What do I mean by shortening? How do I shorten the paragraph? Like, it's not advised that we need to delete that a few lines at the above, few lines at the below, and all those things. We need to extract the major information. The main goal behind is that we need to extract the major information. So let's look on to how this text summarization is being carried on. Fine. So where and all we use text summarization in today's world? Where and all we use text summarization in today's world? Okay. So there are several articles coming in, like several news coming in, several posts coming in, all huge posts coming in our day-to-day life. And obviously we all don't have time, or we don't have patience to sit and read all those big and huge texts. Okay. We don't have we don't have like we don't have patience and time to sit and read on all those huge texts. Okay. So what are we looking into? Okay. Instead of reading all these stories and all the unwanted things, we are expected to read only the major content. We are looking for the only major content which is very necessary for us, so that is the main aim of this summarization. Fine. Then, oh, so what exactly is summarization? Okay. Various organizations today, be in online shopping, private sectors, government organizations, tourism, and several industries, catering industry and other institute that offers customer service. Customer service is one of the refound place wherein the person has to engage with the customers and all do certain things. Okay. So they are concerned to learn about their customers feedback. It's not that they provide a service and they simply, no, each and every time they provide a service, they ask feedback with the customer. They ask feedback with the customer. If the feedback is not good, if the feedback is not good, we would be moving on with the how we will be moving on to the steps in improving our product, or in improving our service. Whenever we have a small group of customers, it will be very easy for us to analyze each and every customer, and then we'll move on further. But let us take some just a minute. Fine. So let's take some huge companies. Let's take some huge companies wherein they would be receiving plenty and plenty, like huge amount of feedbacks from their customers. Okay. So the company doesn't have time to sit and analyze all each and every content, but they need to understand each and every content. Content in sense, I'm talking about the feedback or the huge text they write. Okay, so they need, however, they need to understand it. So it 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 becomes quite tedious tasks for the management to analyze each of these data points and come up with instincts. Okay, so it's very difficult for an organization with of like billions and billions of customers. At least in a day you'll be getting millions of comments and feedbacks. So it's not very easy. The comment may be small, the comment may be big. Okay, however, we won't be able to analyze each and everything. We won't be able to analyze each and everything. So what we need to do, we need to summarize it. We need to summarize it. One customer would be elaborating it in very short form, like he would be more precise. Another customer, maybe he would be elaborating a more, that may not be unwanted, like that may be unwanted for us. Like if a customer, if a product service, a person who is giving the service is reading those comments, and like there are several unwanted stories being involved there, it is a waste of time. He doesn't want to read it. He want to read the exact point, what the customer is expecting, and what the customer is feeling about, or what the customer is thinking about that particular service or product. So this text summarization is very important. Okay, and not only when we talk about customer service, even when we talk about the news articles and some other articles, some huge blogs and all those things. Okay, so news is a very important thing that we need to understand, like we need to learn it daily and all those things. Okay, so when we learn newspaper daily, there are huge and huge. Like we are all go to work, we are all go to colleges and all those things. Obviously, we don't have time to sit and read an entire full newspaper. But instead, imagine there is a summary of all those things, not headlines. The summary of all those things. So, having read the summary, you will understand the concept as well as the detail of the concepts. Okay, you will understand the concept as well as you will understand the detail of the concept. That's the main aim of this text summarization. Fine. Okay. So let us talk about an example. Okay, an example of text summarization problem in the news article summarization, which attempts an automatic produce an abstract of the given article. Okay, someone might be interested in generating a summary of a single source article, while other use multiple source of article. Okay, this problem was called as multi-document summarization. So what they call, there are several problems related to this itself. They are classifying it to be single document summarization, multi-document summarization, a related application. Okay, so what they did, a related application, a related application is summarizing a news articles. Okay, imagine the system which is automatically pulls together the news articles, ones of the given topic, and concisely represents the latest news as a summary. An example of this is called as shorts, which summarizes news article into 60 words. Okay, and the application name is InShort. The application name is InShort. Okay, I guess you should have heard of this InShort. Maybe this InShort is a very good app. Everyone, most of them, we are aware of this. Okay, this in short is nothing but it will summarize all huge articles into just 60 words in shorts. That's the with reference to the application, the summarized news is called as shorts. The summarized news is called as shorts. Okay, so instead of reading pages and pages, we will be just reading the 60 words, and we will be understanding the entire concept of that, and we'll be understanding the entire concept of that. Fine. So as of now, you have understood what is text summarization. Just a small recap, and the topic is abstract based text summarization, and the problem statement number is INTL NLP 11, okay, NLP 11, and I just explained the flow, what we are going to do. As I said, I was talking about introduction to summarization, and so same thing I'm talking about now. And we will talk about in depth what is text summarization, and then we'll move on to the mathematics behind text summarization, and then the flow. What are the steps that we need to follow when we are following text summarization, and the demo code, and finally the demo code. Fine. Next, this is one of the definition. Automatic text summarization is a task of producing a concise and a fluent summary while preserving the key information content of the overall meaning. So, whenever we try to summarize something, we need to understand one major thing. The meaning of that particular content should never be changed. The meaning of that particular content should never ever be changed. That should be run, that should run in our mind each and every time. That should be running in our mind each and every time. Let's say I have a paragraph which tells me the meaning in a quite simpler manner, and like you're trying to summarize it and you're collapsing the meaning. That won't be fine, right? Like if there is news, the news are nothing but the fact that has occurred. So if you're trying to summarize it, the fact should be the fact. You should not try to, if your algorithm or if your code is just changing the meaning of it, if it's just changing the meaning of it, then it's a failure model. The meaning of that, the core meaning of that, it should remain same, but only the amount of the text that you converted should be less. The amount of text from original text to converted text, it should be small, but the core meaning should always be the same. And we were talking about this InShot application, a very useful application. With reference to the InShot application, this is a mobile application. With reference to the InShot application, they call it as shots. Each and every summarized news is called as shots. Okay, fine. So now we are looking into types of summarization. What are all the types of summarization? Summarization is basically divided into two types, which is one is text, basically text summarization is divided into two types. One is extractive based summarization. Another one is abstraction based summarization. Let me repeat it. The text summarization is divided into two types majorly. One is extractive based summarization. Another one is abstractive based summarization. Extraction based summarization and abstraction based summarization. Okay. So what they really mean. Yeah. Fine. So let's move into something called as extraction based summarization. Let's understand what this extraction based summarization is called as. Okay. Here the content is extracted from the original data. Okay. The original data is nothing but the unsummarized data, the original data which you have never touched. That's your original data which is never summarized. Okay. And the content is extracted from the original data. We are extracting contents from the original data. What do I mean by contents? The important contents. When I talk about content, the important content. Okay. But the extracted content is modified in any way. It's not modified in any way. Okay. We are not modifying the original content. Okay. Modifying means making some changes. Fine. We will be extracting information only. We won't be changing it. We won't be modifying the content anyway. Fine. Then what is that? Which is fine. In simple words, we identify the important sentence or key or phrases from the original text and extract only those from the text. I guess you should have you would be you understanding this. So what they're trying to tell, what do I mean by extracting content? Okay, extraction is done in order to extract important sentences, key phrases alone. It's not that you're closing your eyes and extracting something. It is that you're extracting important contents only important contents, which means important statements. Fine. Next thing, examples of like extraction based summarization. Here is an example for extraction based summarization. Just have a look at the example. The text before summarization and the text after summarization. The text before summarization is: John and Joseph took a taxi to attend the night party in the city. While in the party, John collapsed and rushed to the hospital. Okay, if it may or may not make sense anyway, just focus on how it is being summarized. How it is being summarized. Okay, John and Joseph. I'm repeating it. Excuse me. John and Joseph. John and Joseph took a taxi to attend the night party in the city. Okay, what they are trying to tell: John and Joseph are two friends, and they are trying to attend the party, and they took a taxi to attend the night party. Okay, while in the party, John collapsed. Okay, while in the party, John collapsed. John, like, unconscious or fainted, whatever maybe, and was rushed to the hospital. And look at how this extraction based summarization is being transformed. Like, look at how extraction based summarization is transforming your original text. It's transforming your original text into summarized text. So how, what it tells: John and Joseph's John and Joseph attend party, John rushed hospital. Okay, so what they are trying to tell: both of them went to the party and John rushed to the hospital. See how it is summarizing it. Instead of learning, they went in a taxi, they while in the party he collapsed, so that they going to hospital. Okay, like all stories in nuances are in that stories, but in the summarized part, there is only content which is very necessary, this is one type of summarization, which is called as extraction based summarization. And the next thing we have is something called as abstraction based summarization. Okay, so what is abstraction based summarization? Here here the summary of the text can be different from the original text. Okay, so the major difference between extraction based and abstraction based is nothing but: in extraction based, the original content will never be changed, but in abstraction based, the original content may be changed. The original content may be changed, which is contract. Okay, which is contract to the extraction based summarization, where which is used only existing sentence that were present, where that use only existing sentence that were present. Okay, advanced deep learning techniques are used to generate new summary. Okay, like here they used in deep learning in order to provide even much more better summarizations. Fine. Okay, before summarization, just have a look at that. Before summarization, John and Joseph took a taxi to attend the night party in the city. The same sentence which we saw. While in the party, John collapsed and was rushed to hospital. Rushed to the hospital. Just look at the sentence after it is summarized. Okay, John was hospitalized after attending the party. John was hospitalized after attending the party. Fine. In this article, we use extraction based summarization by picking the sentence with the maximum importance score from the frequency of the summary using NLKT toolkit. Okay. So we are going to demonstrate this to you. So what they have done, just the output is nothing but the first line: John was hospitalized after attending the party. Okay, after attending the party. The original content is not you in original content you can never see the hospitalized and party, sorry, attending and all those words. All those words has been generated. So that major difference, the very major difference between the very major difference between the uh, extraction based summarization and abstraction based summarization is nothing but: in extraction based summarization, the summarized output is nothing but it is from the original content only. It's purely from the original content. But in abstract based summarization, it's like of more of a generative type. Okay, new new text will be generated. Fine. So I guess you are clear with the difference of it. You need to remember only one thing: extraction based and abstraction based. In extraction based, the output would never be changed. The output would never be changed. What do I mean? The summarized sentence are only from your original text. The summarized text is the summarized data is only from your original text. But when you come to abstract based summarization, it's like kind of a generative where the output of the summarized data maybe you may find any new words or new sentences to it. Okay, fine. So how this is working on the in extraction based in extraction based, how it is working on means like it extracts only important information, but in this abstraction based, uh, the sentence with the maximum importance score is being extracted. We are going to calculate few things, and based upon those values we will be summarizing. Fine. Now, having understood, like we started off talking about the need of real summarization. Maybe several companies, product oriented companies, service oriented companies, okay, they don't have time to just look into their comments and all those things, like huge comments and complaints. Instead they would just summarize it. Instead they would just summarize this. That was one use case. And news articles, regarding news articles, we saw one use case. So we started off with discussing the why there is a need for this text summarization. That is the one thing that we are seeing on. And the second thing we saw was the types of summarization. There were two types: extraction based and abstraction based. Extraction based, the output is nothing but the important sentence from the original data. In abstraction based, again we will be calculating some scores and all to the sentence and those to the words. Based upon the some scores related to words and sentence, we will be extracting or summarizing the content. So steps to be carried out in text summarization. So what are all the text that we are going to follow in text summarization? The first step is data collection. The first step is data collection. Not only here, be it any machine learning, be it any data science, be it any deep learning algorithm, data collection is one of the very major important step. Okay, so we need data, right? Without data, the applications we speak and all those things we look into will never be possible at all. Will never be possible at all. So what we are going to do, we are going to collect data. And in one of my previous sessions, I would have been told, data collection is nothing but you can take it from online or you can create on your own, whatever may be. But creating on your own on own, it's as their own circumstances. Okay, after looking at it, we will be creating, or either we will be collecting some data sets from online. And this online, and now everyone has mobile connectivity, even the rural people have mobile connectivity. So what happens, data are generated more, and data can be collected easily. So what happens, the online collect, like this generation of data has been made a bit easy. Fine. So what I mean to tell, there are already several data has been collected. Fine. Next, after collecting the data, we need to analyze it and process it. Okay. What do I mean? Analyze and by processing. Analysis may be simple or analysis may be complex. So what do I mean by analysis? If you are just looking into number of samples, it is also an analysis, but it's very simple analysis. Like you can understand the deviation of it and all, correlation, all these things are analysis of your data. But here we are going to instead of even here we will be analyzing the data, but moreover we will be pre-processing the data and then analyze the data. Here what we are going to do, we're going to pre-process the data and then analyze the data. So how what do I mean by pre-processing? Pre-processing is nothing but you need to make your data available, readily available, to pass on to your model. Pre-processing is nothing but you should be readily available to pass on your data to your model. Okay. And in one of my previous sessions, I talked about converting categorical into numbers. Converting. I was taking another session about hate content detection. While taking that, the contents, the comments in the social media are all in a text format, are all in a text format. But for your, be it machine learning model or be it deep learning model, at the back end you will be having something called as mathematics. Okay, there will be all formulas in it. So you won't be able to pass the word as such as to your model. You need some conversion, you need some transforms. Okay, you need to transform your data in one kind and then pass on it. Okay, so similarly here, what are all the pre-processing things that we are going to look into is, the first pre-processing technique is removing special characters. Removing special characters in your text, whatever maybe. Let's say when I take social media comments or comments from social media or contents from social media, people generally use hashtags, @, and all those special symbols and all. They try to use emojis and all those things. Okay, so all those special character we need to remove it. It may impact. Okay, it may be impactful. So we are removing all those things. And the second thing is that we are removing all the numerical values. We are removing all the numerical values. In this case, numerical values are not that much important because we are focusing on the sentences and the words. So numerical values are removed. And the third thing is what you're going to, in the pre-processing, I'm talking about pre-processing. First step was removing special character. Second step was removing numerical number. Third step is removing stop words. Removing stop words. So what is stop words? Stop words are nothing but they doesn't give like a meaning to, like they are not important in that sentence. Okay, they are not important in that sentence. Fine. To be even more clear, stop words are nothing but the words which doesn't add any meaning to your sentence. The words that doesn't add any meaning to your sentence. For example, I can take an, on, the, for. Okay, all these stop words will never add any meaning to your data, so we need to remove it. Okay, so have a note on it, what and all you're removing. First of all, you need to remove special characters. Second, you need to remove numerical values. Third, you need to remove stop words, and then punctuations. Okay, all these things we are removing because when I pass on to the model, that may be irrelevant as well as that may be impactful. So understand why I am dropping or why I am removing all the things. I'm removing all the things, be it special characters, be it numerical values, be it stop words, be it punctuations. Okay, when if I'm not removing it, if I'm passing to the data, what is going to happen? That may what certain point it may be irrelevant, at certain point it may be impactful means it can cause some errors, it can bring down your accuracy, and all those things can happen. Fine. So we are done with we have like just look into as a story. We have collected the data and we have analyzed the data and we have pre-processed it. So in my hand I have a data, which is very clean. I mean clean data means I'm talking about not about how it is looking. I'm looking about the I'm content of it, the quality of it. So after cleaning, the data is ready for me to pass on to the model. So before passing on to the model, there is something called as tokenization. Okay, when we are looking into summarization, there is one of the major important concept called tokenization. So what is tokenization? Tokenization is nothing but creating tokens. And tokenization, when I talk about tokenization, in turn, tokenizations are of two types. Like tokenization can be done on words, tokenization can be done on sentence. So what is tokenization? Tokenization is a process by which large quality of text is divided into smaller parts called token. Okay, we are in the third step. Okay, we are in the third step of our process. First step is data collection, second step is data cleaning, and the third step is tokenization. So in order to understand what is tokenization, you need to understand the theory as well as the mathematics behind it. Okay, there is not much mathematics, but you need to understand the theory behind it. Okay, token Tokenization is a process by which large quantity of text is divided into smaller parts called tokens. These tokens are very useful for finding patterns and considered as a base step for stemming and lemmonization. Okay, lemmonization. Okay, tokenization also helps us for suitable sensitive data elements and non-sensitive data elements. Okay, to substitute sensitive data element and non-substitute data elements. Okay, non-sensitive data element. What they're trying to tell, in order for us to tell that the particular data is sensitive or not sensitive, this tokenization is basically helping us. That's the thing that they are trying to tell. And fine, now I have I have just posted, like, there is a example for tokenization here. Okay, we are going to use tokenization from this NLKT is a library, and there is a function called word underscore tokenize as well as sentence underscore tokenize. There are two functions. Now I am just using, since I have sentence as the input, I am just using word tokenizer. Okay. So in a variable called text, I am assigning God is great, exclamation. I won a lottery. I won a lottery. This is a sentence of mine. God is great, exclamation. I won a lottery. So I am printing the word tokenize of text. Word tokenize of text. So what is the output? So the output, there will be a list created. There will be a list created wherein each and every element of your sentence is considered to be the elements of the list. So here, when I tokenize it, there will be a list created wherein each and every element of your sentence is a element of your list 2. The list which was created, it will be an individual element. Each and every words in your sentence, okay, each and every words in your sentence will be considered as each element in your list. So this is how tokenization happens. So what is after tokenization? After tokenization, we calculate the calculate the word frequency for which calculate the word frequency of each words. Calculate the word frequency of each words. So what is word frequency? Let's think about it. What is word frequency first? Okay, word frequency is nothing but the count. Okay, word frequency, fine. So what is it? What is word frequency? Word frequency is nothing but it tells you the number of times or number of count the particular word occurs. A particular word occurs. Yes. So why we are calculating it? Okay, uh, the term frequency is like how common a word is. Frequency is nothing but how common, in this case, how common the word is occurring. Okay. um Next, then after calculating the word frequency, we need to calculate the weighted frequency for each sentence. Weighted frequency for each sentence. Okay. So what is this weighted frequency? Okay, what is this weighted frequency? Fine. Weighted frequency is nothing but after calculating the word frequency, we would be calculating word frequency for each and every concepts, right? For that, we will be normalizing it. We will look into the formulas. After that, we will be like somewhat normalizing it, and we will be giving a score to each and every sentences. Fine. And the next step would be, after creating a word frequency, after creating sentence frequency, what you're going to do, creation a summary, choosing 30% of the top weighted sentences. Okay, top weighted sentences. So what let's understand the fifth and the sixth step even more clearly. So what is the fifth and the sixth steps talk about is that you will be having you we will be creating word frequency in order to know, in a particular sentence, how many words are occurring how many times. Not only the particular sentence, but in the entire text also, we wanted to know that particular word is occurring how many times, that can be done. Okay. Next, calculate the weighted frequency of the each sentence. So there will be, if there is a paragraph, we will be dividing that paragraph into sentences, different sentences. That technique is also called as tokenization only. Okay, this word, there are two types of tokenizations: word tokenization and sentence tokenization. Okay, with the help of sentence tokenization, we will be calculating a weightage means a score. I will let you know what that score is, but we will be assigning a score, or we will be generating a score for each and every sentences. And after finding the score of each and every sentences, we are going to pick the first or the top 30 percentage of the sentences. It's not after. Now what happened, let's imagine there are going to be 10 sentences. For each and every 10 sentences, there will be some score. You will be having 10 scores. Among the 10 scores, you will be only choosing 30%. Let's take, for example, I'm going to choose 3 sentences. So which sentences I'm going to take in? I'm going to take in 3 sentences which are having higher scores. Higher the score is, will be placed first, and then second. In the descending order, I'll be choosing 30% of them. Fine. So we understood what is tokenization. And now we will move on to the summarization demo. Now we will move on to the coding demo, wherein I will be choosing a random paragraph from the online, random paragraph from online and Wikipedia, and then I will summarize it into a small paragraph. Then I will summarize it into a small paragraph. Just a minute, let me open my Google Colab. Fine. And one more thing which I wanted to share you is that this text summarization is of this text summarization is of different kind. This can be done in different kinds. Okay, like machine learning based, and pure Python based, and deep learning based. Okay, all these things can be done. We will look into any one of that kind. So let me fine. Yes. Okay, let this notebook get connected. Let me zoom in a bit so that it's clear for you. Yeah. So first, we may consider a text file also, but for simplicity's sake, I am just considering 3 strings in order for you to explain with 3 different statements. I've just assigned the 3 different text data to the same variable. Each and every time when we run, we'll run with all those 3 things. Okay, so this can be done with a text file also. You can just read in a text file and extract the information and then work with this. Everything is possible. For simplicity's sake, I've just chosen this part alone. Fine. So first of all, I'm running this article text. I'm just running this article text. There is some article, so this is some article. Okay, just the ability of the content of the software. Okay, I have just some random random sentences. It's quite a huge, not quite a huge, it's a bit big sentence. That is we have completed. Okay, now I am importing 2 libraries, the 2 major libraries that is required. Okay, fine. What are all the libraries? The libraries which I'm going to import are nothing but regular expression and NLKT. Okay, and regular expression and NLKT. Fine. So what is this NLKT library? Okay, this NLKT library, the natural language toolkit. Okay, the library is nothing but this library is not this library, or this is it is called as so the like expansion, or what does NLKT means is nothing but the natural language toolkit, or commonly NLKT. Like it suits of libraries and programs for symbolic and statistical natural language processing for English written in Python programming language. So I was just defining what about NLKT. NLKT is nothing but just like a kind of library thing, and which is used for natural language processing. Fine. Then what is next? An array is regular expression for handling exceptions and all those things. Okay, I guess you would be aware of this. And then data pre-processing. Okay, the first of all, we will some words maybe in upper cases. In whenever we look into our sentences, whenever we look into our text and all, what we are going to do, we will be there will be some capital letters, not in the first letter of it, be it anywhere, there will be having some capital letters. So these capital letters will be lowercase, which means it would be converted into lowercase. Okay, fine. So with the help of this function, this I'm creating a variable called article text, and article text dot lower. Okay, this lower function is associated with a string, like in pandas. Not only in pandas, in Python you have lower function, which lower function, what does it mean? It is going to convert all the capital letters into small letters. So when you have the look at our when I run this, okay, when I run this, all these things will be all the words, all the you will never be able to find any capital letters or capital words, capital letters or capital words. Okay, and when I have a look at this sentence, you can have some brackets, like you can see brackets somewhere. You can see yeah, you can see some like numbers, brackets, some punctuations, like full stops and all this quotations. So all those things, okay, we are able to see few all the things which we are intended to remove. When I was talking about in the theory part, we had 6 steps. In the and the second step is pre-processing. In the pre-processing, fine. Yes. Now what I am going to do, um so first of all, let me come to this cell before we will go into this cell. Okay. So fine. Okay. So in the next step is nothing but removing spaces, removing punctuations, removing numbers. Okay. So I just said why there is an important, why we need to remove all those things. I said why we need to remove all those things, because we need to remove all these things because as I mentioned, it may be unnecessary or irrelevant, or it may be impactful. It may be impactful. For this sake, for this reason, we are just ignoring them. We are just ignoring them. So how do I do this? This from this regular expression dot subs, like which is substitute. So what I am doing, what we are doing is that we are just ignoring, like we are not ignoring, we are not going to consider any of our normal letters. We are not going to consider, and other than that, if there is anything like numbers and punctuation, we are going to replace them with space. We are going to replace them with space. So let me highlight this code, and let me know, I'll let you know what this is happening. Here there is a code called clean underscore text. Here the like using regular expression library, other than all these things, like a b, or other than a capital B, small b, all these things, if you find anything like like punctuation marks and numbers, we need to replace it something called as space. When we need to replace it something's called as space. Okay. And what does this second thing happens is that, so when these numbers and all those things, okay, let me run this shell in a different, so that you will be able to understand. Yeah. So when you have a look at this, you will find several spaces, like you will find several space, because you will find several tab space in between, unnecessary tab space in between the here and there. Okay, this is because, see, from S, all these things you will find several spaces, like these are all several unwanted tab spaces you will be finding. This is because the punctuation mark or the numbers or the special characters there were replaced with space. So your phrase is now having several spaces, so our aim is to remove that spaces also. So our aim is now to remove that spaces also. For that, what I'm just doing, like clean underscore text, like from regular expression library substitute the slashes, okay, and then comma, I'm passing in the clean text. I'm passing in the clean text. Now if I run this, what is going to happen is I will be getting a very clean text wherein I don't have I will be getting a very clean text wherein I don't have numbers, special characters, and then any punctuation marks, as well as any space, any tab space. Okay, all these things are completely removed. When I arrive at this point, I have removed all my special characters, numbers, punctuation marks, as well as the space. Fine. So next, what we are going to do now, we are going to run a cell wherein there is something from NLKT. We are downloading stopwords and PunKT. So what is this stopwords? Okay, I previously, as I mentioned, stopwords are the words that doesn't add any value to your sentence. Stopwords are words that doesn't add any value to your sentence. We need to remove all these stopwords. In order to remove all your stopwords, you need to tell your code what are all your stopwords. Fine. Your code should be aware of what are all the stopwords that you are available. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just when I run this stopwords will be downloaded, and now I am going to fine. Now we are going to tokenize it. When I tokenize it, what happens? When I tokenize it, what is going to happen now? See, I'm assigning now split into sentence list. So what I'm trying to tell is that I said there are two kinds of tokenization: word tokenization and sentence tokenization. In this case, we are not going to do word tokenization because we have a paragraph of data. So however, we are going to do, like, we are not to tokenize, but we will be scoring them accordingly. Fine. So what happens here in this case, I am just passing sentence list. Sentence list is the variable which I have created from nlkt.sentence underscore tokenize. And I said there are like two tokenization, sentence tokenization and word tokenization. I'm using sentence tokenization. I'm passing in this article, and when I print this is there will be a list created wherein each and every elements inside the list are nothing but sentences. Fine. So now what we have done, we have pre-processed the data and we have tokenized it. A sentence tokenization is being done. Next, word frequency, then sentence frequency. Okay, when we talk about tokenization also, there are two tokenizations. One is word tokenization and one is sentence tokenization. When you do word tokenization, what happens? Each and every words in your sentence or in your paragraph would be inside a list. Each and every word will be as a element inside a list. Okay, and then if I do sentence tokenization, each and every sentence of your paragraph would be considered as a element inside a list. There will be a list created and inside a elements of a list. Okay, fine. Next, what I'm going to do Here there we are going to calculate word frequency, and then we are going to calculate weighted frequency for the sentence. Word frequency is different from weighted frequency of the sentence. Okay, so initially our aim is to calculate the word frequency, and we'll let you know and how to calculate this, okay. The first thing, we are removing the stopwords. Okay, we installed the stopwords and we download the stopwords, right? Okay, stopwatch is equal to nlkt.corpus. Fine. Sorry for the interruption. So stopwords.nlkt.corpus.stopwords, we are removing the, telling that it's an English. Okay, fine. So now we are going to calculate the word frequency. Now we are going to calculate the word frequency. Let me see whether this is run. Okay, yeah, everything is done. Let me make sure that I run all these cells. Yes. Yeah. So word frequency. Okay. For words in NLKT dot token word underscore tokenize clean text. So what I am doing here, we are passing the word tokenize. Previously, we passed what tokenization here. We passed sentence tokenization here in order to like convert into sentences, in order to convert into sentences. In that sentences also, we will be we'll be considering each and every single words. Okay, if words not in stop words, if words not in word frequency, okay, if they are stop words, we are just ignoring them. Okay, we are not, if they are stop words, we are not going to consider them. If they are not stop words, and if they are not in the word frequency is what now? I am declaring an empty dictionary. I am phrasing, like I'm creating an empty dictionary. The empty dictionary is nothing but, uh, wherein I'm going to apply the tokenization, for word in NLKT dot word tokenization. And if it is stop words, we are going to ignore them. If it is not a stop word, if it is not in the dictionary, each and every time this process runs, this process is going to like add in we are going to calculate frequency. What do I mean by frequency? How the number of particular time, like how many times a particular word is repeating. Let's say in a sentence, I like Python more and Python is very easy. I like Python more and Python is very easy. In this time, in this sentence, Python is repeating twice. The Python is repeating twice. I'm repeating in this sentence, I like Python and Python is very easy. In this sentence, the word Python is repeating twice. So the frequency of that word is nothing but 2. The frequency of that word is nothing but 2. So I'm writing like this, we are writing a function here, sorry, a snippet here where it tells if it is stopwatch, it's ignoring. If it's not stopwatch, it's just adding it into the dictionary, where the dictionary and the strings gives you the capability of counting how many times a value or a word is repeating. Fine. So If it is repeating and again, I'm just word frequency of that particular word is +1. I'm just updating the number to be 1. Okay, this is the code. Then maximum frequency. So what is the maximum frequency? We are calculating maximum frequency because that will be helpful in scoring. That will be helpful in scoring your sentences. Okay, so maximum frequency is max of that particular dictionary. Okay, max of that of that particular dictionary. Okay, in dictionary you will be having keys as well as dictionaries are nothing but key value pairs. Dictionaries are nothing but key value pairs. You're going to consider the maximum value alone. You're not going to consider the key. You're going to consider maximum value alone. So maximum frequency is max of word frequency dot value. Okay, now for words in word frequencies of word. Okay, we are normalizing it. Okay, we are now, the thing is called a normalization. Here there is a mathematical formula kind of thing where we are normalizing our scores, like the frequencies values. Okay, the score, maybe the score values. Fine. So let us take Python occurred 2, right? And Python, let's say Python is to the, it'll be the maximum. Let us say Python is the maximum times of occurring word. So that we are considering that word, and we are taking all other words. Let us take I love Python, and Python is easy. In this case, Python is occurring twice, so Python has more frequency, and the word love has less. Let's say the frequency is 1. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide 1 by 2. The score of that particular value is 1 by 2, which means 0.5. The score of that particular word love is 0.5. 0.5. And again, what we are going to do in the same similar way, how did we previously, what did we did now? In the same similar way, what we are going to do, in the same similar way, we are going to calculate score for the, let me run this. We are going to calculate the sentence score. Okay, for sentences in sentence list, we have created a sentence list before, right, with the help of sentence tokenization. Yes, and for word in nlkt.word tokenize of sentence. Okay, if the word in word frequency and the length is like, it should be like of a particular size. Okay, for like particular size, where I'm telling it to be like more than a 30, like more than or less than 30 words. Fine. Yes, if the sentence not in sentence scores, like I'm just scoring it, word frequency, I'm just scoring them. Okay, this will be help us. So now I have the liberty to check what is word frequency as well as what is sentence frequency. So just have a look at this word frequency. So I'm running this first cell, and I'm running all other steps. Fine. So just have a look at this, what I have done here. I have just printed the word frequency. We create this word frequency is nothing but a dictionary data type, and sentence frequency is also nothing but a dictionary data type. This is where we do scoring. So the word frequency is nothing but, it will tell each and every word what is the score to it. This is the normalization value where we have counted from the frequencies, okay. So this is the value. When you have a look at this, each and every word would be having a score. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to print you the sentence score, this sentence score. Now what happens, each and in the previous case each and every word was scored. Here now each and every sentence is going to be scored. Each and every sentence is going to be scored. See, when you have a look at this, each and every sentence, see, 1 2 0.7 1.553, okay, like, which means each and every sentences is going to be scored. Okay, now I'm going to calculate. I'm done with the scoring. Like, I've scored the words as well as I've scored the sentences. Now we are going to consider only 30 percentage of the data, which means that 30 percentage of the sentences which have high scores, which have high score. Get the top five sentences. Get the top five sentences. In this case, we know like five sentences are to be 30 percentage, and like import okay, import hepq, and this sum, like, this is what does this summary is equal to n largest. Okay, this function would does the job for you. So when I run this cell, this piece of code takes you the top five sentences alone and join them using this string operation joining. I'm joining them. It encourages stream structures and attributes. So just have a look at how it is summarized. In order for you to demonstrate how it is summarized, I'm just printing the length of the original text as well as I'm printing the length of the summarized text. The summarized text. The original text name is article text. Okay, and I'm running this. It is 2347. Now I'm printing the summarized text. Now I'm printing the length of the summarized text, which is nothing but 5. Which is nothing but 5. Let me assign this to a variable simply. Yeah. So just have a look at here. Just have a look at here. From like the length of it was 2000. Like this may be the letters, each and every letters of it. The length function returns each and every letters. It was from 2374 letters. We have just summarized into 650 letters. Okay. From 2374 letters, we have summarized it to 650 letters. So this is called as text summarization. This is called as text summarization. And I just print this variable. This is the summarized one. This is the summarized one. And let's have a original one. The original one is a quite big and the summarized one is quite small. Okay. So this is all about abstraction based summarization. This is all about abstraction based summarization. Thanks for your patient listening until now. Let me recall what we were seeing until now. Let me recall what we were seeing until now. We first of all started off with understanding what is summarization, and then we had a look on to what are the types of summarization: extractive based and abstractive based. And then we saw what are all the steps. And then we saw what are all the steps. The steps are nothing but, like, we need to follow these: data collection, data cleaning, tokenization, word frequency calculation, sentence frequency calculation, which means weighted frequency of sentence calculation, and then creating a summary of choosing the top 30 weighted sentences. Okay, top 30 percentage of these weighted sentences we are going to take. Yes, I am done with my presentation. Once again, very thanks for your patient listening. Once again, on behalf of Manthan team and our trainers, I wish a very all the best for all of you. for all of the students who are participating on this topic, and I wish good luck. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your patient listening. We If you have any doubts, you can post on the comment section, and someone will be contacting, or if there is any chance of helping, we will be helping you. Okay, thank you. Thanks very much, and have a great event ahead. Thank you.